Hello, friends. Hi, this is Ganesh Naik. I help finance professionals and students to excel in their career and become a better version of themselves. And I also help students preparing for CFA and FRM exam. I have with me one of my student, Debashi. She has been able to clear the FRM Level 1 exam in May 2023 attempt. This was his first attempt, and he's going to be talking about his journey of preparation, what challenges he faced, and how he was able to clear the exam. So first of all, Devashish, thank you very much for joining with us and taking out time and talking to us. And if you can give a brief, before you started FRM, what were you doing? What was your work experience? And when did you started your FRM level 1 preparation?
First of all, thank you for doing this. I'm actually happy that I'm doing this with you. And I'm basically from Bhubaneswar, and I work in a public sector bank. I have experience of 10 years, but 7 years in a public sector bank. Before that, I used to be a faculty for CAT, aptitude faculty at times. So I used to teach there maths. Then
Wow.
I joined IPPS. I wrote the exam, and I am in this banking for 7.5 years. A few months ago, only like before 6 months, only I discovered that there is a course named FRM, and which is helping uh, people with finance background and bankers also to excel in their career. So I read the prospects. I went to into the site and saw what the degree means and what you can actually do with the degree. So I did a little bit of
Okay.
research before I started.
Okay. Now, when did you started with us? Which
Uh,
month and
I think third week of January, like January 20 or 21st, I joined you.
okay.
I found out about you in Google. My friends, my banker friends suggested. So I watched a couple of YouTube videos of yours, which were free. So I watched them. And I understood that it would be helpful for me. So if I take those classes, because before
And
that
you
I just ordered the books. So but I needed
okay.
some guidance because I was not able to manage time because I was working. So much time was not there to prepare on my own and write the exam. So I thought I'll be.
Okay. Okay. So January mid you decided to go for the exam. January and you joined us. You joined us in the video lecture package.
Yes.
Now, from that day onwards, what was the flow of chapters you were following?
Actually, I already had the books, and as I joined that video lectures program, I spoke to you once before that. So you said that the videos are designed in such a way that they'll help you understand better, not in the same order as they appear in the books. So I
Right.
thought I followed you in that pattern. So it was quite
Okay.
structured. The videos were quite structured, week one, week two. So it was a little easy for me because I didn't have to think much before preparing which chapter to start first, which chapter logically connects the next one. All those things I did not decide on my own because I
Okay.
had lack of time also. So I followed whatever was given in there.
Perfect. Perfect. And then, how much time you were preparing every single day?
It was not constant because some days I would be getting a little more time, some days I would be getting a little less time. Depends on how what time my work finishes, what time I'm reaching home. But I had a target in mind that every day, 2 to 2.5 hours or 3 hours, I'll study on weekdays, and weekends I try to study a little more, like 4 hours or
Okay.
4.5 hours on weekends.
Okay. Okay. And when you started the preparation, so you were watching the video on a week. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. You're watching the video, reading the textbook, and question bank you're solving on weekends. Correct.
Actually, what I used to do,
Okay.
because I was not that confident earlier, I was watching the videos and with the textbook, and because the videos were all aligned with the textbook. So after I complete one chapter, I used to give that test pertaining to that chapter, so that I had a fear that I'll forget if I don't do that. So
Okay.
I did not
Okay.
question my memory on that. So I just appeared those exams right after I
Okay.
studied.
Okay. And when did you complete your one full round of teaching or the completion of the content?
Uh, First round, I think March end of March or April first week. I think I have completed first round of
So basically in
all the
two
videos.
months.
Watching all the videos, I completed.
In 2 months. Okay. So roughly you were covering one chapter per day.
Yes, yes.
Roughly 60 chapters. Okay. And solving also solving of chapter wise questions.
Chapter wise, I took all the tests of chapter wise because I thought it was important for me, so that I'll not forget whatever I have read. So that
Hmm.
thing was there, and my preparation had involved a little bit of scribbling also. So whenever I used to watch your videos, I used to scribble because I'm not
Hmm.
that good in remembering things because of my nature of job or something. So I relied more on my scribbling, writing whatever I understood or whatever I thought was important from your videos. So I used to take a
Okay.
note of it. So that also helped because when the second time I tried to read your go through the topic again, I used the help of those notes also. So that was like
Okay.
a little time saving for me.
So by April mid, you had completed all your reading of content, all chapters, everything is done.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what were you doing after that? What were you solving? What were you doing?
Actually, my exam was I scheduled it on May 12th. So what I planned is by April last week, I'll complete the reading of the chapters twice at least. So, but the
Okay.
first reading got completed a little late. So I tried to complete as much as possible by the end of April. So I completed around 80% of the reading again part by the end of April because I knew
Okay.
there are only 12 days left for the exam. I need to appear for
Hmm.
the mocks also. And in between the second reading, I gave those sectional mocks also, sectional tests, like
Right.
book wise tests. That was also there in your video lecture.
Yeah.
So I attempted those also.
And what about the mock papers? How many mock papers did you solve?
I solved three mock papers
Okay. And what was
before
the
writing
score?
the exam.
What is the
Uh,
average score you were getting?
Average score around 58 or 61 percentile. That only. Not much.
Okay. Okay. And till this point, which was the book that you found really tough?
Uh, I found the book really tough is book 4, VAR book.
Okay. 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 Wonderful. And now, when you went to the actual exam date,
Uh,
the actual exam center, you started solving. What happened in that first 1 hour of the exam?
so when I went to appear the exam, I was quite sure that my aim was to read all the questions properly before answering. So I did
Okay.
not have the plan that I'll read this question, I'll leave it behind, and I'll again come back to it. So I thought at first go, I'll complete answering maximum possible I know. So I'll give my best shot at my first attempt itself. So if I'm not confused in one or two questions, I'll leave them behind. But most questions I'll attend on my first attempt. So that was my strategy because the questions were lengthy also. So I thought it would
Okay.
be wiser to take some extra time at the first attempt itself rather than coming back again looking. So that was my
Okay.
strategy.
Okay. Got it. Wonderful. And then, was time sufficient for you in terms of preparation? The 4 hours was it sufficient for you?
The exam time was sufficient. Exam time was sufficient. But I think I mismanaged a little when I prepared. I could have managed that a little better, but again, time
Okay.
constraint, not getting so many holidays also. So that was one thing.
Okay. And then, uh, how many theory and how many calculations were there in your exam?
My exam, I think 30 to 35% were only calculations. Rest 65%, 70% were theory only.
Okay. So
Deep concept oriented questions.
calculation was easy or tough?
Calculation, I found it easier because I was more comfortable in calculation part since I'm having that aptitude reasoning background. So calculations somewhat came naturally to me. So for me, the
Okay.
difficult part was to understand the concept and the concept oriented questions.
Wow. Okay. ठीक है. And with respect to the theory part, what was your comfort level in the exam?
Theory part, I was comfortable in that financial markets and products, whatever theory was there, because that is a concept which
Okay.
is more discussed in general also. Like if you don't study
Okay.
also, those stock market call put how these things work, these are discussed outside also. So I found it a little relatable. So because I had some basic idea before I went to read those chapters, so it was easy. And fundamentals of risk management is also easy because as a banker you come across some chapters
Yes,
somewhere point.
in
So
day-to-day life, yes.
it was a little easier.
Okay. And then when you came out of the exam, okay, first two questions related to this. Was there any number in your mind that I will get 50 correct, 60 correct, whatever was the number? And secondly, were you confident
That
that you will
was,
clear the exam?
I was not confident, and there was no particular number, but I was sure, I was hoping that I'll get anywhere in between 55 to 60. So that was the range I had in my mind. So as
Okay,
not,
okay. And then when the results are out,
hmm.
okay, what has been the reaction of people around you?
uh, actually, result was out on the day. That day, I did not realize the results were out. The next day morning only, I checked the email. I didn't even check the email. I saw a YouTube video of yours. You were saying that the results are out. Kindly check your results. So I realized that the results are out. So I checked. I was hoping that I will get through. So I was very happy that I got through. And everyone around me, my parents, my wife, whoever supported me, were really happy. And actually, they believed in me so that I could believe in myself. So that was a good feeling. And after so many days, also, if you are writing an exam where that feeling that what will happen in the result, whether it's a pass or fail, that feeling also I was able to go through. So that is also a good thing. Somewhere in between, you should
Okay.
test yourself what is happening.
So this was the exam. I mean, after IBPS, this was the
No, no,
first
no.
competitive exam.
No, I wrote all bank exams like JIB,
Achha.
CIB, credit risk, credit professional, risk professional. I wrote all those exams.
Okay,
But
okay,
this was like those exams were like you write the exam, you get the score. So there was no waiting time. So this was the exam where there was a waiting time.
and also because see, you had prepared in around 3, 4 months.
Yes.
So obviously, because you have to work a lot of time, you had March month also in between.
Uh,
So so many things coming up, and you still managed to clear the exam. That's a very, very great achievement. I mean, for bankers, I know it is tough. So for you to clear the exam in such a short span of time is really, really happy. Now, if somebody asks you to give 3 tips on how to prepare for FRM level, what would be those?
I would say what I did is I believed in my process. Like I understood that I have to follow one thing, that is your videos, which were aligned to the chapters. So once I have decided on that, I never I never changed my decision, or I never doubted it that it might not happen that I'll clear by only doing this. So I never questioned that. So my thing is, if you're preparing for one exam like FRM, you have to be very sure of what you're doing. So if you have decided on one thing that this is going to be my process, you should not change it in between. So this causes a lot of self doubt, and you may lose your flow also. So that was I was quite clear that even if I'm preparing, even if studying it for 2 to 3 times, I'll follow the same process. So I was very clear on that. And I think FRM is more of a test of your preparation. It's not a test of what your intelligence is or how much you can just study and remember. It's a test of your preparation, I believe. So keep flow in your preparation, keep continuity in it. I think that is the key also, so that you put in regular some hours so that you don't miss and you don't miss the flow also of preparation. So third thing is you have to be thorough. Like you just can't read a topic and understand the concept. You have to go. You have to do deep diving. Some deep diving is required because the questions were not that direct. Like they'll be asking question which will go deep into the chapter. So if you are studying it very deep and once or twice, then only you can recognize the difference between the options, which option to eliminate, which option to select. So I think that is also an important part, that whatever you study it very thoroughly.
Okay. I really like that line, test of preparation and not test of intellect. I will use it. I'll use it somewhere, definitely. But really, really happy on your success and
I would
clearing it.
really like to thank you because from the moment I saw your video in YouTube, so I could understand because I myself was a trainer for 3 years. I used to
Okay.
go to different colleges to teach for aptitude and reasoning for CAT and as well as for campus placement. So I also had that journey for some years, so I understand what you're doing and you're doing it really great. So I really trusted
Thank
in
you.
you and it worked for me. So big thanks to you also.
Thank you. Thank you. And this journey that you talked about, especially being a banker, managing time, able to clear. I mean, this is going to be really motivating to other bankers who are going to go give the exam now in the near future. So thank you very much for taking out time and talking to us and giving a sneak peek on your entire journey. So really, really happy on your success. Thank you very much, Roshi.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this also. Thank you.